What is up, Legion? What is up, heathens? Rev Avi checking in live for the Magic Quarantine Talk. What is going on? I'm going to give people a chance to get here. Hang on, I cannot see anything. I don't know what's going on with my comments and whatnot, but there we go. Okay, what's up? Checking in, guys. I'm here for the Magic Quarantine Talk. What's going on? We're going to talk about magic like we always do. Get you guys some understanding on occult topics, on ritual magic, on demons, on spirits, on our ancient history of mysticism, which is very deeply ingrained in human history. We're going to talk about a lot of those things and try to get you guys some clarity on that, okay? So tag people if you are friends with them so we can get them on here and get started. I'm going to give you guys a chance to get here. Tonight, we're going to talk about a topic that I feel like is very, very important. But we're going to talk about the 7 Hermetic Laws. We're going to talk about the 7 laws of the universe. I feel like these are the laws of the universe, the 7 Hermetic Laws, the 7 laws that govern magic and the universe. We're going to cover those tonight. Give you guys some clarity on that and connect some dots like we always do. So before I get started, I'm going to give you guys a chance to get here. Tag everybody. I see you guys going off. Asim, what's up? What's up, dude? Rhino, what's up, buddy? So, yeah, let's get everybody here. What's up, Destiny? Hey! But, yeah, tag them. Let's get them on here, and then we'll get started, okay? So we're going to cover the 7 Hermetic Laws tonight. Connect some of those dots, the dots between the connection of those laws and everything else, and try to get it cracking. This should be a really good live chat tonight, okay? Asim with the vamp emoji as usual. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, join the Discord. If you guys aren't on there, grab the Discord app. Join us on Discord. We have voice chats on there a lot. They get kind of silly, but we always try to keep it very educational and touch on super deep topics. What's up, Tiff? I see you checking in. Steven, what's up? Okay, so here we go. We got enough people on here. Let's jump right in, okay? So there's 7 of these laws that govern magic, that govern the universe, given to us by the Egyptian god Thoth, also known as Hermes Trismegistus. The reason I'm bringing this up tonight is because this corresponds exactly with all of the information I'm writing in my new book, which is titled, after the name of this group, Demonism, Phantasmagoria of the Mind, Demonic and Vampiric Seductive Sorcery. Okay, so we'll talk about what that is, what demonism is, which is the art of creating phantasmagoria. We'll talk about what phantasmagoria is a little bit tonight, and all of that mixed in with these 7 Hermetic laws. Okay, so let's dive in. The first Hermetic law is the law of mentalism. Okay, and if you guys don't know these, feel free to write them down in your books of shadows if you have them with you and all of that stuff. Get my coffee and follow along with this. So the first one is the law of mentalism. And this law states that the universe, the entire universe is mental. Okay, it is all a creation and process of the mind. We exist within a mind. All is the mind. That is the law. Okay. And so what I find with the Hermetic laws is that every one of them tend to be 100% true, regardless of what discipline you try to apply them to. Regardless of what you try to apply them to, they're always 100% true. And the first one is mentalism. Okay, so remember that. The second one, the second Hermetic law, is correspondence. Okay, so let's talk about what that is. They're talking about the de-orgasmic state. But the second one is correspondence. So the correspondence is that law that everybody loves that states, as above, so below. As within, so without. That means if the left is doing it, the right is also doing it. Okay. There is no separation between the two. Okay. So you get this interesting thing where it's like it clearly displays that there's 2 sides, okay, a correspondence, okay. The third one is vibration, okay, and vibration basically breaks down the 3 planes of existence, which I talked about in the last live. it goes to the three planes of existence, which demonstrates that everything is based on energy vibrating at a different rate. Okay, it's all a energy that is vibrating at a different rate, and that's what's causing it. Okay, the three planes of existence, and we're talking about the mental, the emotional, and the physical. Okay, so that is the third law is vibration. The fourth law is polarity. Okay, now this is also could be called the law of duality. Okay, the law of polarity states that, exactly like I was mentioning before, that there's always two sides. Okay, everything has two. If there's hot, there's cold. There's a corresponding other side to everything. And this is one of my favorite ones outside of the mentalism law, because a lot of people like to do this with their magical practice. They're out there calling themselves white light practitioners or dark practitioners. And I strongly push the fact that magic is magic because of this law, because of the law of duality. Okay, if you are, and this is the best way I can explain this, if you are on the path of light, okay, for all of you church people, path of light people, Jesus loving people, okay, you guys love that stuff. You're on the path of light, right? You're ascending towards this thing, right? We get it, duality, right? Now what happens when your angels start to manifest? I would say that those are your demons and that there's no difference. It's the same as when an occultist is doing a magical rituals and their demons manifest in the ritual chamber. It's the same type of spiritual experience of that thing manifesting. It's just on a different side of the scale. Duality. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're ascending and you're getting your magical manifestations, or you descend down the clipoth. You're still ascending towards a greater thing, a greater purpose, or you can descend and still ultimately reach that greater purpose. It's a constant dance, a constant cadence of a repeating cycle. Numerology shows this to us, where we understand that there's really only 9 numbers, 0 through 9, and then the numbers repeat back to 1. It's a constant dance of repeating the same cycle. So it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, as long as you're traversing the path of advancement, of spiritual advancement or manifestation, you're still going to get the same result. So duality, very powerful law there. The next one is the law of rhythm. Okay, and this has to do with the swing, the motion of the pendulum. Everything is always in motion. Energy does not stand still. There's no non-movement, no non-motion. There's no non-movement that exists in the universe. Everything's always in motion. Okay, and that's what this law demonstrates. Okay, so when something becomes stagnant, if you try to become stagnant, you move out of the cycle and start the cycle of self-destruction. Okay, the next one is the law of cause and effect, and we're on 6. We're almost done here. Then I'll open up for some questions. The next one is the law of cause and effect, and this just simply states that for every cause there is an effect. And for every effect, there is something that caused it. So if something's happening, something caused it, there are no coincidences. And the last one here, the last law, the last Hermetic law, and without offending anyone or starting a big argument here, is the law of gender. Okay? And this, the law of gender simply states that gender exists in absolutely everything that manifests on the planet. Okay, or in the universe, period. It exists in everything because everything has the ability to create something else, right? So there's male and female plants, people, animals, everything has gender. Okay, you can even break this down to saying that the opposite genders could be the sky and the earth in opposition to each other. Okay, and I would point this back to the argument I made about the duality, about the two paths of light or darkness versus each other. I would say that it doesn't really matter in terms of what your imagery is, and whether you're calling it light or dark. You're traversing both sides of the tree regardless, okay? Of the tree of life or the tree of death or the tree of the other side, which is the term I prefer. You're traversing both sides regardless. The idea of the left-hand path, and us specifically on the left-hand path, using the inverted pentagram, okay, as our symbol, is very powerful. People don't understand what that means to have that pentagram with the point aiming down. Okay, so I'm going to explain that a little bit more on that difference here. So with the pentagram pointing up, this represents the idea of looking up. This is what people do in churches. They're looking up to heaven. They're looking up and out to some distant place that they want to get to. They're looking up to the sky. They're wishing and hoping for a thing, right? Whereas here on the left-hand path, our pentagram is pointing down. It's pointing down to the earth. It's pointing down to the realistic level, to the scientific understanding, into the soil, okay, the roots of where we come from. This is what aims our path at studying ancient history, because that's the roots of where we come from, okay? So we start to study these things, this ancient mysticism, to try to make sense of that. And honestly, when you start to do that and you go down this path of spiritual study, you start to get that gnosis, okay, that understanding of what the symbolism and all of those, different mythological stories are trying to convey. There's a message there, okay? And it is the same message, and it is repeating, okay? And the message goes back to these laws that I just mentioned, okay? And it all ties together in showing you that there is a pattern that exists, okay? The pattern exists, and it's displayed over and over again throughout nature, and showing you that that reality can be created by design, okay? Not that there is a one-all creator, but that simply it can be created, and it is created by law number one, mentalism and the mind. Okay, so I'm going to open up for some questions. That's my 15-minute rant, like always. I'm going to open up for some questions, actually drink some of my coffee, and see what you guys have to say. I can always tell when it's a really great live because, like, total silence comes over the the comment chats. Like, people will be saying stuff, and then you'll see, like, silence as everyone's, like, super focused on what I'm saying. So that's awesome. But yeah, so I'll open up for some questions. Hit the like button, hit the heart button. Wake up. You guys can snap out of it. Holy shit, I kicked my my camera stand. You guys can snap out of it and talk to me. What's up? So, yeah. If you guys aren't familiar with the Hermetic Laws, there you go. I just broke them all down. I do a great job of breaking them down again. This is inside my book. This is stuff that I'm writing in my book, going back to the understanding of Hermetics and stuff like that. And really giving you guys a from the roots understanding of all of this stuff. Like I said, the inverted pentagram is all about getting back to the roots and digging in the earth for that treasure. Okay, we're heading down into the roots of where we come from, the primordial. Okay, so yeah, nobody tagged Izzy. But yeah, so with that said, I hope that was very informative. If you're not familiar with these things, it's a great place to start your understanding. A lot of people come into this and they run into like the Wiccan Reed and all these sort of different ideas that exist within the magical or occult or witchcraft world. And, on this path, on the left-hand path, we have a different way of thinking about things. At least some of us do. Not all of us think the same. There are theists out there. There are atheists out there. There are some people that are in between. I like to consider myself one of the people that are in between. I like to keep an open mind about everything. I don't devalue anyone's belief systems or anything like that. But I do feel like everyone should have a sense of realism when it comes to this stuff. With every kind of religion, you need to have a sense of realism. Otherwise, we haven't made any advancement as a race, as a human race. We're still just living in the dark ages, waiting to go out there and burn the next witch that puts on makeup. You know what I mean? So we need to have advancement with this stuff. Wow, I'm not seeing any questions. I must have done a fine job of breaking that down. But have your beliefs, but don't be married. Have your beliefs, but don't be married to them. Wow, that was like very Vlad with it. But don't be married to them. Um, cool. Yeah, I think my comments are super delayed this time, guys, and I'm not seeing a lot of them because it just popped back in and said, "Oh, you got people watching the live," and I'm like, "I've been on live for like 20 minutes now, so it's got to be delayed." But with that said, like I said, I hope that was helpful. I'm not seeing a whole lot of questions, so I will talk a little bit about this. I pulled out this book also, so I'll change it up a little bit, away from the Hermetic Laws for a minute, and I'm going to talk about this book. I pulled out Luciferian Witchcraft, and this is by Michael W. Ford. I've actually had this book for a very long time. You can see it's really, really beat up. I've had it for years and years. This is a really great book. It does a lot of that diving, like I was talking about, going back into the sort of ancient mysticism and stuff that exists within the left-hand path. And this goes back to like Zoroastrianism and back to the studies of like ancient Sumeria and Babylon. This is just really... Michael Ford is like one of the, in my opinion, one of the godfathers of left-hand path occult studies. If you're not familiar with his works, with his books, I can't recommend any other author over Michael Ford as far as learning the mysticism goes, okay? He really, really knows the history of connecting all of those dots from a lot of various traditions. He is directly responsible for a lot of the knowledge I have regarding like left-hand path and ancient study and stuff like that. But this book, Luciferian Witchcraft, I highly recommend this if you do want to get like your hands into the mysticism side of what it means to practice various things on the left-hand path. This book has some great poetry in it, and a great breakdown of history and some great references and all of that stuff in here. Okay, so cool. I highly recommend that. So with the Hermetic Laws, and going back to the first one, mentalism, what does that mean, right? What does that mean? It means this. It means that when I wrote this book, I was spot on by saying that, and I don't know if you can read the title because of that, my super bright ring light, but when I wrote the title, Mesmerism, The True Powers of the Witch, I was spot on, okay? The truth is that mesmerism is all about working with the mind. It's all about putting the mind in trance, understanding what trance is and what that process is, okay, and mastering those techniques. And so that book is 100% based on mental magic, okay? So it's spot on. It's real usable techniques. It's not just a bunch of philosophy. And I feel like that's a huge change from what a lot of occult study offers, okay? So with that said, guys, if I'm not seeing any questions, it looks like I still just got Rhino and Steven left here, but that's all good. If I'm not seeing any questions, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to jump out of here, okay? Because I can always get on voice chat, and we can have some fun on there. I'm pretty sure that's where everyone else ran off to anyway, okay? But yeah, we could keep this short, and I'll just go ahead and splice it up and chop it up and send it right to YouTube. Cool. All right, so with that said, guys, much love, much love. Okay, I do love doing these lives, and like I said, join us on the Discord if you guys aren't there. If you can, show some love, support me on my Patreon to keep these lives and all this stuff happening. And I will see you guys in the next one.